you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Dean, do you hear me?
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Welcome along, everybody. It's Tuesday night, and that means it's Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series here, sponsored by the Murph's Magical Creations 200 at the Auto Club Raceway. I am Dean Biggles. We'll be joined by Wesley very, very soon, our wonderful lead commentator, as the drivers have finished up their qualifying session. They're about to line up onto the grid. So as soon as we get Wesley in here in a second, if he does have a copy, we'll go over to the grid anyway at the moment, where those drivers all line up. Currently on pole, the weather bolt himself, Mr. Cullen, after last night's race win as well. It locks him through to the DSR Electric Fast 14. Lining up next to him, Bo Tiffany for the Highline Racing Team. Drew Ballesteros, I think it is, sorry there, and Holden McGill will be lining up next to him. Lampanino, the Butcher, and Ted Wade on number 6 position. Ryan Johnson and Ricky Jolpan, alongside with Andrew and Rhett Tucker, alongside and also Jonathan Tuckness and Bernard Person in the 12th position. Followed by the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves, Dean Doucette will line up there to Darren Bruce, Adam Newton, Michael Larch, Lucas Lyons for the Warrior Racing Spurs, Noah Rainwater, Greg McConey, and the next row back, Jason Martin, Mark Nelson, Jonathan Caulfield, and Tristan Bruce in the 24th position. As we go another row, we've got a stack of drivers. Are you here, Wesley? Not quite yet. Phil Pappas, Matt Cherry, Randy Austin. We've got a lot of drivers out there. We're going on a formation lap. We'll just go through those as well. To Jeffrey Johnson, Justin White, Trevor Williams, of course, Keith Hanley, Dustin Castrell, Cody Knott,
we're not going green.
Gerard Boone, Joshua Suss. 36 positions. We've still got more gladiators to go through here, as we still have Jason Peyton Johnson, Brady LaBeouf, Carl Burke, and TJ Moore, I believe, will be on race control with Brady LaBeouf. So we'll get ready to go racing here at the Auto Club. Just seeing if Wesley's getting everything sorted out. Wes, do you have a copy yet? Not quite sure, but she's joining us in the booth. Hello, everybody. No, Rainwater's out there saying hello. Qualifying did not go according to plan. Hello, Racing Guy. Hello, Charles. New Age emulation track is going to get hot. And let's go Weatherbolt from Sniggles. That's currently having a look at the track temperature, which it is cloudy. We've had a chance of meatballs, 89 degrees Fahrenheit. So yes, the track will get hot as we're in local time, midday for track time. The pace car's going to go around for a few more laps. Let's see if Colin can back it up again and get another one done. Perhaps back-to-back wins. Yeah, I can't hear you at the moment. Can you give us a copy there, please?
Hey, you got me now? Hello? I'm talking. Can you hear me? Hello?
I think you are talking, Wesley, but...
Hello, Dean. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Dean. Hello, I'm talking away. Hello, lights off on the pace car. Hello? Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, Dean. Hello. Dean Hopton, are you there? I hear you. Can you hear me? Hello. Dean.
I can't hear Wesley, but I can. I believe that Wesley is on the stream.
You can. I just heard myself. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, Wesley, for some reason. It's
what
just
the hell?
Well, to me at the moment. So hopefully we get that sorted out, Wesley. If you said I'd like to solo cast for a minute, my friend, and I'll sort that on my own.
It's on your end. It's got to be on your end because I just heard myself on the broadcast. Hello to everybody. Oh, I just lost my streaming. There we go. Yeah. It's on his end, everybody. It's on his end. Oh, Dean, I don't have a video stream. Dean Hopton is having technical difficulties hearing me. Yes. I don't have no screen. Dean, do you copy? Dean. I don't know what's going on in my life. Oh. Guys, all I know is I think we're coming to green. I think the race already started. We're about 30 seconds behind. Welcome to Auto Club. The green flag fell. That's all I know. Oh, Jesus. Dean Hopton, you got a copy, boss? I think the green flag fell, so we're underway. The Great Pumpkin. Dean, can you hear me? Hello. We're under caution already, everybody, so we're going to take a break. If Dean can hear me, we got technical difficulties. We're going to try to work on fixing it. It's got to be on Dean's end. Stay with us. We have a big crash off turn 2. Dean, can you hear me now? Hello, Dean Hopton. I can hear myself on the stream. You just can't hear me for some reason. It's on your end, boss. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. We got a caution. You saw what happened. But we can fix it. Stay with us, everybody.
I'm aware of that, so I can't do too much about it, my friend.
Dean, can you hear me now, Dean? Dean Hopton, can you hear me? Hello, Dean. I just heard you in my life, in my head. I know, we're live.
I can't fix it. Sorry, there was.
Brady, can you hear me? Brady, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So you hear me, boss, Brady?
Green flag, green flag.
We're back live. Apologise about the technical issues at the moment. It's what happens when a computer reboots before a broadcast. Wesley, we're racing.
Yes, cut your stream on, boss, so I can see the screen as we are back to the green flag. And thanks also behind the scenes to Brady LaBeouf for also working on that. I know there was a little sarcastic smart aleck Trip Bruce running his mouth, but obviously in the chat box we had some technical issues and we were trying to get that figured out. So if he doesn't like it, he can leave the stream. But we're back up and going again here, so we're racing. Auto Club Speedway is where we are tonight. And again, we already had a quick caution, Dean, to start things. So we're going to try to get this back up and going. And it looks like we got 200 miles, 100 laps tonight. So we're going to get everything back up in order. I think we're good to go. And another night, another race. And Colin Weatherhold up in the lead early here, Dean.
Yeah, he's looking for a back-to-back, isn't he, from last night. The man is certainly a bolt, Colin with a bolt. So I did realise what happened at the moment after the computer reboot. It's muted every single one of my channels for some reason. Anyway, thank you, Windows.
There you go.
Yes, and I have to go through and unmute them all. But your indication was going through to the stream, so it's all fine. So thank you for your patience out there. Just the one caution, my friend. I'll just quickly caught that replay of that earlier. I think it was Jason Martin that was involved in that.
All right, so we're back up and going, and the race is underway here. Weatherhold up in front on lap number 6. Ballesteros there in second. Tiffany Lampretti right now in the top 5 with Wade, and they're working their way to the back straightaway. We got a little contact there. Car getting into the wall. Watch it, the 38. And he'll save it. Will still stay under the green flag. That got a little antsy for just a moment as the racing rolls on off the corner. I believe that was actually the 38 machine. That's Johnson.
Yeah, Colin Weatherhold just went right down to the bottom at the moment, and Drew's gone through, actually. Sorry to cut you off there, my friend. Hello, Brady. Brady
got a new leader
too, I think.
Is Brady joining us tonight? Brady, what's up, man?
Oh man, just looking at some of the action back there, looks like we got Adam Newton that got into the wall. Heavy damage on him, kind of stacked everybody up back there. But no, man, just a great night. 40 core field, so yeah, we're racing tonight, boys.
I tell you what, Brady, we're just getting started with the next round of the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series for NASRA, but obviously it's a big week for NASRA. Always big races, but tomorrow night the NASRA Cup Series, and we kind of hit it on it last night of the truck broadcast, but now you literally got trucks, Cup, ARCA, Xfinity every Monday through Friday. You take your pick, you can be able to check it out.
Absolutely, it's a very diverse league, diverse field. So, I mean, we're happy about it. Trying to get away from not racing trucks all the time. So, yeah, like you said, Xfinity Cup and hanging out with our buddies on Thursday night with Dean and them broadcasting Goat Locker racing the ARCA series. So, we're getting a lot of inquiries about the ARCA series. So we just shoot them over to our friends at Goat Locker to help them recruit. So.
Yeah, going to be a fun time for sure. Of course, Thursday night, Goat Locker Racing, ARCA Thunder. As right now, the drivers of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series working their way back around the racetrack. Dean Hopton, we're in the early going, and the 54 Ballestera is up in front, but Weatherholt quickly charging. Bo Tiffany right there in tow as they work the back straightaway.
I think we're seeing almost 3 abreast back here too, Wesley, and that we are 4 almost. Wow. That's Richie John, Bernard Person. I think Dean Dissett's in the mix there as well. Noel Rainwater. They've sorted themselves out pretty quickly before they could have been 10 pearl shape there, Wesley, but that's good to see. You can see the stage break as well. So we'll be going caution on stage 25, and then we'll stay green on lap 65.
Yeah, remember that the green flag will stay out as we'll move into the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 in this event here. 100 laps the total distance, and then they'll go to lap number 65, and then they'll have that battle for the finish of the race. And I'll tell you what, pace yourself at this racetrack, Brady. Gotta love Auto Club Speedway. I know it's extinct now. It's not around anymore in real life, but man, you could be making some amazing iRacing memories on this track, and it's just a fun place. Look at the precision banking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grooves. You can see 4 wide around this track if they're brave enough.
Absolutely, and it's one of the funnest tracks, I believe, on the iRacing server, so that's why we always pick it. The drivers love it. Think that it was not really a fan favorite for it to be tore down because it's fun racing in it. It's like a sister track to Michigan, but it different characteristics to it. Wear tires. If you get on those seams too hard, it'll definitely hurt your drive in, hurt your drive off. So it's very fun to drive and race.
Yeah, certainly watching all these guys. There's Ryan Johnson in the Chevrolet number 38 out of Salem, Wisconsin. He bounced off the wall on the back straightaway earlier, and now he sits himself right now in the top, outside the top 5 in 6th spot as here comes the field working across the line. This 2-mile oval here at Auto Club Speedway. And look at everybody, Dean, running the top of the racetrack. Here's that word, as I mentioned, precision banking. Take your pick. You can go to the bottom. You can go to the middle lane a couple of times in the groove, and then you can go all the way to the top of the safer barrier, and you take your pick to where you want to race. And you literally see where it cuts the distance off on these cars, especially running the bottom to the top lane, and it opens the door for a lot of competition tonight.
Yeah, you can go into the safety barrier too if you choose to, but hopefully not for some
Yeah,
of the
don't do
drivers.
that.
Yeah, but you can definitely use every bit of the racetrack that you like, and it's good to see we have an Argentinian on the race grid. So it's not all just Northern America, because Dean is, of course, from Canada, but also South America, and that's the Butcher, I believe. That's his nickname there, isn't it? I can't Lamperiti? How do you pronounce his name there, my friend? I'm a butcher of names, sorry. Oh, spinner in the background.
Whoa.
That's Richie.
Look out, getting sideways there
That's
for a
huge.
minute. I mean, that's the damn announcer jinx. Richie Joplin going around as the 89 out of Hudson, North Carolina
caution.
spins. But Brady, he's at the bottom of the racetrack below the white line of the apron. There's a reason why we do not see a caution flag. Darren Bruce also bounced off the wall. He kept going, but that's why we don't see a yellow flag here triggered.
We do now. Unfortunately.
And now they're going to throw a caution. Yep, they are. Surf Pro caution number 2 coming out. I thought maybe we were going to be able to try to get that car rolling, but my goodness, Brady LaBeouf, that car is destroyed of Joplin.
Absolutely, and it looks like they just got a little bit of contact right there. I mean, they're 3 wide almost with Greg McConey right there, and he just like I said, it's hard to drive, man. Especially during a day like this, you get into that wall, you bounce off and hit somebody, and you're just going into that inside wall. It's very typical to see that coming off a 2 at Auto Club.
And Dean Doucette up in front of him. Here's another look from another angle of it. There's the 12 of McConey. There's Darren Bruce, and he bounces off the wall. The Hiddenite, North Carolina driver of the 18 Toyota. He was able to keep on going, but then Richie Joplin spinning, slamming into the inside safer barrier. Damage, smoke bellowing from that Chevrolet. Puts us under yellow flag number 2. Colin Weatherholt is up in front. We'll take a break from Auto Club Speedway on the NASRA 360 Racing Network here at the Murph's Magical Creations 200. Still a long way to go here at Auto Club Speedway, the next round of season number 3 of the Blanchard Stowe and Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf of NASRA joins us in the booth. Of course, Mr. Biggles, Dean Hopton, I'm Wesley Outlet. We do apologize for those little techno difficulties on Dean's end as we came on the air, but we got it fixed up, and we've still got a long way to go. Jacob Reeves is on pit road right now, and obviously, Brady, a lot of drivers pitting early. I'm surprised at this. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, they got damage, some of them bouncing off the walls early on. I would say, 8 laps before this, we had a couple of people bouncing off the wall. So a lot of this is for damage. They probably top off or whatnot, but you're going to see a lot of guys really not use a set of tires, potentially. It's hard to flip the stage here, Wesley. I mean, you still have about, 8 to 9 laps to stage 1 break, so I don't think you want to flip the stage here and be at that big of a disadvantage on tires.
Seeing a lot of guys come down to the pit lane, still getting service. Obviously, Joplin's car is still on pit road getting fuel. He's on the damaged vehicle policy clock right now, trying to get some time to fix that car. If not, he's going to be out. As right now, Dean, everybody's getting doubled up behind the pace car. Wrapping up our second serve pro caution. We await a restart on lap number 17.
So Dean just said, of course, which Dean were you talking about? Well, the Dean just said running a P8. There's one thing really quickly, too, because we're getting down to the back stretch, that Jacob wanted me to mention, and it looks like he's got a new livery sporting the 57 machine, and I think he's doing it for the charity, of course, this month as well. It looks like it there, if we could read that. It is, isn't it?
Jacob Reeves and max speed trying to catch up to the toe of the field. Right now, he is off of turn number 4, coming down across the start-finish line, and he has got to catch up to the pack on the back straightaway here at the Auto Club Speedway. Adam Newton also trying to catch up to the field as he is right there about to grab the tail. We'll get ready for the restart. Let's set up the top 10 for you as they get ready to come back to the Geico restart zone here for the second Surf Pro caution about to wrap up. Colin Weatherholt up in front. The Indiana driver, the 22 Chevrolet. Drew Ballesteros right there on row 1 to the outside. Then it's Holden McGill, followed by Latoro Lamperta, followed by Bo Tiffany and Ryan Johnson. First 3 rows. Throw in that mix of Ted Wade, Dean Doucette, Noah Rainwater, and Bernard Person. Ready, Brady, they're coming to the Geico restart zone, and we're ready to go back to green with Weatherholt. Another great launch for the restart heading into turn number 1.
Absolutely, and you see that wheel spin there in the back of the field. It's tough to get these things going on worn tires, 19 laps. So I know these guys are ready to get to the stage break and put on some fresh tires for sure.
Working off of turn number 2. By the way, follow Facebook as Nazareth Racing is on Facebook, but also Blanchard's Towing and Repair sponsoring our event, the Murph's Magical Creations 200. And right now in the early going, and here comes some heavy cloud cover, Dean, coming over the racetrack. A little sun popping back out as they come to the start-finish line, but that cloud cover could really, really change the handling on these cars as we're working lap 20 next time around.
Yeah, Wesley, it very much could, but the track temperature's 90, so it's actually increased. So those tires are going to start melting to the track zone, and you're going to find those grip levels are going to fall absolutely out the roof. But it depends if that cloud cover starts to come over a little bit more and cool the track down. Might help the drivers out a little bit.
Big thanks to Murph's Magical Creations for being a sponsor on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. And I'll tell you what, Brady, man, so many great partners we've had jump on board. And of course, obviously Murph's and Blanchard's Towing, Starbase Comics, Surf Pro, you know what, TLC Incorporated has jumped on board for the Cup Series. It's amazing where this series has grown in the last 5 years since the COVID era.
Absolutely. I mean, it starts with DSR and Cops. I mean, you know, those two, as well as the rest of them you mentioned, you know, it takes a group effort, man. It definitely takes a village to get, you know, back to where we come from to now. So we definitely appreciate our sponsors for sure.
And Holden McGill now the new leader as we're about to close the end of stage number 1. Now remember, as we mentioned when we came on the air, as you're on board now with those drivers battling side by side, that's Dean Doucette and Bo Tiffany, the In-N-Out Burger entry. Looks like he's going to battle right there with him. Screaming Eagles on the inside. Dean Doucette, the Canadian, going to battle now with Ballesteros. That's now for the 5th spot. Lamperti is up there in that mix as well as they work the back straightaway. And boy, oh boy, you got to start getting into position now.
Oh.
And we got a caution. No, we got trouble, big trouble. Johnston's in the wall. The 09 McDonald's car has crashed. We got a bunch of cars involved. Carl Burke is caught up in it. And calamity here coming off of turn number 2 with another stack up before the end of stage number 2, Brady. Stage 1, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be the stage break for sure. They're coming to 22 right here, so the 23 that is. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be the stage break, Wesley.
Of course, we're at the virtual iRacing Auto Club Speedway, and again, another caution coming out. Here's a replay of it, and there you see the 99 right there. Yeah. Getting into the 45, that's Cherry, Rhett Tucker into Cherry, and nowhere to go for those guys as they go spinning. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's Rhett Tucker. We're not quite sure who's the cause of that one. I know that Brady's going to be working with TJ probably and race control figuring that one out. That's what they're looking at. But you can see 3 abreast here, and you know what happens, 3 into 1. Unfortunately, there was. It doesn't always pan out that way, does it? And to put the blame on somebody, hard to say. You know, because Rhett Tucker was in his position there, isn't he? Maybe he's got a little bit turned by the car that came up. And caused a big one, because you've got about 5-6 cars involved in this one, Wes.
There's a look at it again. So many cars getting tore up. There's the debris flying off of race cars as well. Here's Dustin Castile, his Chevrolet from Iowa. Let's watch his viewpoint. Nowhere to go. Look at that, Brady. Like literally just slammed right into. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's right after a restart. Everybody's bunched up. It's just when something like that happens, you just have nowhere to go. A lot of good cars messed up in that wreck right there.
Yeah, another multi-car kerfluffle on the back straightaway. Drivers involved, including Mark Nelson, Dustin Castile, Andrew Megronigal. Then it's going to be, let's see, Carl Burke, Peyton Johnson. We saw a whole bunch of other drivers, Carl Burke and others pulling away from the accident, so we'll see what kind of damage they have for sure. As it looks like, again, Holden McGill, the Rock Hill virtual bad boy from the Palmetto State is going to win stage number 1 in that Kubota Tractor Chevrolet. He'll get it done over Johnson Weatherholt. Those drivers will all get stage points. And because of a generic caution, no, we don't need one at the end of the stage. There was a natural caution for an accident on the racetrack because we were planning to go green flag into stage number 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. We're doing it now with a restart. We'll step away from Auto Club. Just getting started. Stage 1 goes to Holden McGill. More of the Murph's Magical Creations 200 in a moment. As a matter of fact, here's a word from our sponsor.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Field getting ready to bunch up for the restart about right now. 25 laps as we're getting ready to move into stage number 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic and Auto Club. The green flag flies. Brady, I got to ask you this question, man. What's your take of Colin Weatherholt? It amazing how dominant this guy has been for Highline Racing in different genres of iRacing vehicles too for NASRA.
Absolutely. Colin, has come on to run the Xfinity cars, showing, his, talents, in different vehicles besides the trucks on Mondays and Fridays. And, even some of the guys have ran Cup to show their talents in that vehicle. But well-respected driver in the NASRA community. And, just a good, raw, clean racer. So enjoy racing with him for sure.
Definitely been enjoying Dean, watching what this guy's been doing, Dean Hopton, in this series. We've really enjoyed seeing what he's done every night of the week. I mean, if he can get in a Cup car, we've seen him do well in Cup, and obviously Xfinity and the trucks he's been excelling in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's just has a natural talent behind the wheel and getting job done. And cool, calm, and collected it seems to be as well when we hear him in the interviews. And he's very, very good strategies as well, too. Whoever wreck up the road.
Whoa! Doucette turned around, middle of the pack. Person nowhere to go. He slams the safer barrier and a host of other cars as well. Caution out for the 4th time. And here comes some more cars scampering to the bottom of the apron, climbing up onto the racetrack now. Oh, no. Is that Reeves? I think it is.
Yeah, I think Reeves might have been. Oh, there's up the road there. So it's the number 5 and then the 35 that get involved there, my friend. So that's Dean Doucette. He's tangling with another car that ends in 5, as we know. But let's have a look how it starts. That's the In-N-Out burger too, isn't it? Yes, machine.
Got to think, Brady, that Bo Tiffany might have been just a little aggressive in that Ford. On that Chevrolet of Dean Doucette. I mean, kind of a little bump draft gone wrong right in the diamond of the corner. If he could go back and do it again and rewind, he probably would not have put the bumper to him right there in that part of the racetrack.
Yeah, that's tough, you know, especially in a corner like that, especially with these cars. These cars run loose beginning of the run. And this, you know, hot surface, this track worn out, so you really don't want to bump draft here. It doesn't run like Daytona, New Atlanta, and Talladega, so could have shown a little bit more throttle control right there, maybe lift it to give him some more room.
Here's a look at it from another angle. Look at there, and then obviously the 64, nowhere to go. Or correction, that's actually the 54. That black 54 machine. Another number of drivers caught up in it, including Lucas Lyons, Jonathan Cofield, Dean Doucette, Jacob Reeves. And there's another angle from it right there with Jacob Reeves. I'm wondering if he got a piece of it or if we just caught him stopping here. Oh, yeah, there. Yeah, see, he just kind of went to the bottom of the racetrack to miss everybody, so he's okay. No harm, no foul.
They had drivers heading down a pit road that were involved in that wreck, or at least some of them were. Joshua Suss, Andrew, Bernard Person, Dean Doucette, as we know, Jonathan Caulfield. We've got some Jonathan Caulfield fans out there as well. And he's back in pit road. Mr. Mark Nelson, and so forth and so forth.
By the way, don't forget, join us tomorrow night, same time, same network, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The NASRA Cup Series from Daytona should be an exciting one. You know, Brady, all of the preliminaries are out of the way now. You've literally got the big one, 250 miles from Daytona, and it'll be an exciting century grind around that track with these Cup cars. I'm looking forward to this Cup Series. I really am.
Yeah, you know, we got through Speed Weeks with this group on Tuesday night. We're still in Speed Weeks on Wednesday night. It's always fun whenever we do Speed Weeks and the qualifying, the duels. The drivers really get a full experience of you know, 2 to 3 weeks of just grinding it out at Daytona, and now they get to, you know, wake up tomorrow morning and get ready to do their big you know, the big Daytona race. Everybody wants to win Daytona, Wesley. You know, that's the crown jewel that everybody's shooting for. And then, you know, we only got a couple of weeks left, I believe 6-7 weeks left on Mondays, and then those guys will be doing Speed Week. So a lot of Daytona coverage at the NASRA 360 Racing Network.
And I love Daytona. I love Talladega. I love the New Atlanta, the super speedway racing. You know, Dean, it just makes it so intense, and the racing is just so exciting until it gets to those latter stages. And, you know, it could be calm, cool, collective, and then, you know, all hell's going to break loose, trying to figure out who's going to win it. And the bragging rights, like Brady said, of wanting to win Daytona is very special for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And what you got to remember too, well, I mean, some tracks as well too, they aren't necessarily the drivers' favourites, including last night. But at Brady, you'd have to be obviously very proud with how everything went last night for the DSR Electric Series. I think we covered that, didn't we? Saying that there was 60. I think we have 60 or 90 laps without a caution. Like as in a race accident.
I mean,
caution.
we were talking about it all day today in the Discord. We went 130 laps with only 2 cautions, and then the aggression picked up, you know, with a cutoff race. So yeah, 1 caution.
How about last night at Richmond?
90.
Yes. Richmond.
Yeah, last night at Richmond. Yep, 36 trucks. Well, 38 trucks. It was impressive.
Was a good show for sure, definitely. And obviously, as he got down to the end of it, you knew the intensity was going to pick up. As my colleague, the Viking, Stephen Bartlett, who'll be with us in the Cup race tomorrow night, calls it NASRA chaos. Will we see that here? Actually, to be honest with you, pardon the pun, it's already been that way here tonight at Auto Club as we're back to the green flag. McGill inside. Weatherholt will follow. Johnson, that's the driver, Ryan Johnson, down to the inside. All these guys right there stack up with one another up against the outside wall. Brady, as they work into 3.
Absolutely, and Holden McGill right here is going to block that 22 machine of Colin Weatherholt. We've seen Weatherholt fast on fresh tires, Wesley, and then Ryan and Holden come on strong with older tires. So, and that's typical. We see that out of Ryan Johnson with the older tires. So we'll see how that's going to play out with no more stage breaks. Even though at lap 65, they're going to continue to race under green flag conditions.
And right now, they work their way back off the back straightaway. Look at them going, wow, thought about going 3 wide for a minute. It's Bo Tiffany clear a path to the inside. Here comes Tuckness. Going to battle alongside with Wade and company as their door-to-door Dean going into 3. It's getting good.
Yeah, it is. And I'm loving the top 3 as well, too. You got some big Top Guns there, some big names, drivers capable of winning races and probably expected more of themselves to win races of Colin, Holden, and Ryan Johnson. So I'm hoping we get a couple more players that we can bring it to them this evening, and there certainly are a handful of drivers that can. But that's just these guys are machines, aren't they? They are really, really quick, and of course they're going to have the biggest targets painted on their back with the rest of the field, chasing them down. A big stacked 39 field too, with a couple of retirements that we heard about in the chat too, as well. But at least you can sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, boy, Noah Rainwater just got a little loose a moment ago as he bounced off the wall. Falling back now outside the top 10. Here comes now Tuckness on the inside. He'll carry Lyons with him as well as they work their way back to the corner. I love it. Hey, Brady, we got a Buc-ee's. We got a Buc-ee's car on the racetrack. I love it.
Absolutely. And I'm only about 60 miles from Buc-ee's over here in Tuscaloosa, heading towards Talladega. So I got to go to Buc-ee's whenever I went to Talladega. So that was fun.
I've been to Buc-ee's in Daytona. I've been to Buc-ee's in Atlanta, or outside of Atlanta. There's a Buc-ee's that's in Florence, just down the road from Florence Motor Speedway, Dillon Motor Speedway in Darlington. So, yes, I love my Buc-ee's. Love them. Beaver nuggets are really, really good.
Never been to Buc-ee's.
They need to build a Buc-ee's in Australia for you, Dean. What do you think?
They do. I mean, for sure. I mean, I don't even know what
That's
Buc-ee's
Phil
has
Pappas,
to try.
by the way.
Yeah, Phil Pappas is the Buc-ee's machine here.
I love it. Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's!
What do Buc-ee's do?
That's how you gotta say it, Dean. You gotta say it like that. It's not Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's! Buc-ee's! Yes.
Oh.
All right, that's enough TV time for
Brady,
them.
are we going to do a Halloween-themed race as well, too? Brady, you also, when they're doing any cars, any track or anything that you want to do, so, right, for a special event. Right,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We could definitely have Halloween week in Nazareth for sure. We'll definitely get that up there. Maybe even do a best paint scheme.
Yeah, paint schemes, of course.
Paint scheme gets and each series gets a free entry fee the following week or something.
Hey, Dean, I don't want to get. We talked about this last night, and Brady, since we got you boss here in the booth, I'm going to throw it by you, obviously, because I'm just a peon. I'm an announcer, but you're the guy that would pull the strings. One of the conversations we had last night with Dean and Steven was the conversation of having maybe a open wheel modified, like a NASCAR wheel and modified race on Daytona International Speedway or Talladega, and have like a special. What do you think of doing something like that? Could that be in the cards?
Well, you must have been reading the executive group chat, because the topic of discussion was, I think the thing that we lack here at Nazareth compared to others in the iRacing community is special events and big live events. And we're talking about doing mini stocks on Talladega. We're talking about Indy 500s. We're talking about Daytona 500s and dirt events. So we're talking about doing a lot of things. It's just, us putting a schedule together and getting the guys, getting everybody ramped up for it. So definitely be on the lookout for a big event coming soon to Nazareth.
And can I say this as well in your defense, Brady? You and Cody have ran Crown Jewels before, but they just haven't had the, I'm not saying that it wasn't a set the world on fire, but it didn't have the support that I think you thought you would have with it. And the bottom line, that's what we have to have. If we're going to have these runoff special Crown Jewel events, we got to have the support from people or other people that have interests of wanting to come and support it. Bottom line.
Yeah, and I mean, in the defense to our drivers at the same point, a lot of them run, 3, 4, 5 nights a week. So for them to race a 6 or a 7, as we see Phil Pappas go around right here.
Spinning, smoking.
Hold it down right there, Phil. Yeah. Uh-oh. Phil does a great job right there of controlling his car. I believe no harm, no foul. He doesn't have that much damage, it doesn't look like, and he was the only car involved, so.
Oh, he was bouncing off the fence a few times.
He got a little damage on the wall. And then Noah Rainwater kind of got to the left rear, and wow.
Yeah, it's just, that's kind of a racing deal right there, guys. I mean, you know, especially with Phil kind of getting a wall. I'm sure he wasn't planning on getting to the wall right there, but you know, you got to watch. You know, it's computer net code plays a factor in everything, and just a great run right there on that outside. Seeing everybody running the bottom right there, and Phil's going to be the first one. Kind of like Dale Earnhardt Jr. likes to run that top lane. As you see, he gets in the wall and he just kind of bounces off, and yeah, he's wiggling back and forth. And I just think that that's a racing deal between those two guys.
And Noah Rainwater was out in the chat, actually, guys. He was in the chat just before that saying, I need an onboard of my car. Well, you got one then, Noah. So.
Oh, you got one along with the Buc-ee's machine, Noah Rainwater. There you go. There's a look at it again, and everybody's coming down pit road except for Rainwater.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at that strategy here. Noah Rainwater, last time he pitted, if I'm looking at my information correctly, it was on lap 23. So everyone else might be behind the 8 ball here. Well, I guess he pitted around the same time everyone else did. So he's just kind of going for a strategy here, Dean, I think.
Oh,
Brady,
Holden.
Yeah.
Ooh, Holden was flicking again a little bit too. Sometimes it happens with his internet, but he's okay, thankfully, back. Because we want to see that battle continuing, of course, with Holden McGill, Colin Weatherholt, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
All those big names. Ooh, battle out of the pit road right there.
This is our 5th caution of the race, by the way. 5th caution presented by Surf Pro Fire, Water, Cleanup and Restoration. Surf Pro, thank you for, of course, being a partner. As we mentioned, concerns of police survivors, Blanchard's Towing. You know, we appreciate all of the partners that are up on the top right that are there.
Magical Creations.
Yes, Murph's Magical Creations. There it is, right there on a race car of Joshua Suss, the great Bend, Kansas driver. And Brady, you're kind of cutting back a little bit, aren't you? Are you kind of, you know, not racing as much as you've done in the past, right?
Well, it's just hard, you know, Wesley, when you know, we're expanding, it seems like every day, and you know, we've got the full 4 series going, and plus you know, we don't necessarily run Goat Locker Racing, but we broadcast for them. But that's a job in itself too. You know, Cody Knott does a great job. We've got, you know, a great broadcasting crew, and we've got to manage people, right? Like, we've got to know, you know, if some people have lives, you know, they're going to do things, they're going on vacation. So you know, you got to have backup plans and whatnot in place. So it's just a lot, you know, when you're broadcasting 5 nights a week and running 4 leagues and keeping the stuff updated and keeping the drivers happy. So yeah, and like I said, I think that's why we've kind of slacked off on the special events, and it starts with planning. So like I said, we're gonna dive in deep and really get a good plan together for the next big event that NASRA puts on, and hopefully, you know, it's, you know, we got the support, like you said earlier, that kind of comes back, and I think we will, especially having, you know, 150 plus drivers within NASRA. I think it'll be a better time to do it than what we did in the past with just 2 leagues at the time.
That's right. And obviously the NASRA Cup Series tomorrow night, Goat Locker, Arc of Thunder on Thursday, the Concerns of Police Survivors trucks on Friday. Here's a look at the schedule, by the way. This is round number 2 of the season, coming off of obviously the race at Daytona. Colin Weatherholt won it, so he automatically is in the playoffs. Auto Club tonight, Pocono next week, Kansas, Las Vegas. Brady, I'm calling you out right now. I'm seeing road courses like Watkins Glen, Sonoma, Coda, and I said it and I thought I was going to get my way a while back. I'm ready to see somebody run NASRA on the Chicago Street Race course. I'm ready to see it happen.
Well, you're going to get your wish here in a couple of weeks, because the Cops Concerns of Police Survivor Series runs it on Friday nights here in the playoffs. So, and they're only a couple of weeks away from the playoffs starting. So you'll see Chicago Street Course on Fridays, and then Monday, Season 5 is also running it.
There you go. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to Season 5 then, whenever we do run the Chicago Street Courses. We're back to the green flag. Remember, we are in Glass Mechanics Stage number 2 here at the Murph's Magical Creations 200. Rainwater and Weatherholt Dean battling door to door. for the lead. Is Rainwater now going to be the guy up in front as they come to the line?
Yeah, interesting because he stayed out. So he boxed back on lap 23, where the rest of the field just went down lap 39 or 40. So is he going to be struggling a little bit later on with grip? Yes, he will. But for now, he could hold on to that lead and get that position, of course, and there's other cautions to come out a little bit later on. He can sneak into pit road past with the rest of the field there, and that's a big gain, isn't it, for some positions? But at the moment, he's under attack from Colin. Colin's going to seize that opportunity on those worn tyres from Noah.
Weatherholt on the bottom, Rainwater right there, stride for stride up the precision banking into turn number 3, and Rainwater gets sideways as we got a caution. Cody Knott has crashed, bottom of the racetrack, along with Dustin Castile. And the yellow flag will come out again for the 6th time here on the back straightaway, lap number 43. Here's a replay.
Let's have a look. It looks like Castile goes very, very quickly, doesn't he? And then that's all she wrote. He slammed into Cody Knott, right? And that's a tough one, isn't it, Brady? Because sometimes some drivers just aren't up to speed, or something's going on there and they're a little slow, or they're avoiding something up the road, and then bang, they get a nice big tag from behind, and then you're like, who's at fault then?
Well, it's just a misjudgment is what it is from my view. You know, the 032 comes down there, and he's got the big run coming off of 2 on the 26 of Cody Knott. You just want to kind of see him make that move, that sudden left, to go under him, which I believe he was trying to do. It's just a misjudgment, kind of like reminds you of what with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jimmy Johnson and Brian Vickers at Talladega that year, when it was just a misjudgment of going underneath somebody, and there's going to be contact there, and that's the result of it for sure.
We want to see if
here's a look at it again as why we're under caution. Yeah, and by the way, Flying with Murph is checked out in the chat box, and he says, my unicorn car better be getting up front. LOL, got to represent that unicorn power.
Well, here it is right now.
Referring to, there you go. We're going to go side by side and play his, at least show his commercial. There's a white screen. I don't know why.
Yes, I broke it. Sorry.
What did you do?
We'll play. How about we play the proper one? Of course, as some of the drivers will be heading to pit road. We're back after this fantastic ad.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back after the Murph's Magical
Creations.
And by the way, a couple more drivers are heading down a pit road there, Wes, but we will go and show that lovely livery for you out there, Flying with Murph.
Yeah, he's in the chat box. Yeah. You're cheering us on, so for sure. There it is, that Chevrolet of Cody Knott. And don't look like it's that badly damaged, Brady, after his incident with Castile there. There he is. There's Joshua Suss's car coming down the front straightaway as well. There you go. Murph's Magical Creations.
Does a unicorn make you go quicker? It would, wouldn't it?
I just think it's awesome to have a cigar-smoking unicorn fabled creature on your race car, Brady.
Hey, I raced that scheme. Well, I wouldn't say scheme, but I raced that sponsor 2 seasons ago on Friday night. So shout out to Murphs and Huck Wigginton and that group. They're I believe it's his daughter that puts those schemes together. So she draws them up and Huck paints them. So or Josh, I think Josh Suss is involved with painting some of those schemes too. So but a great sponsor to have. And like I said, they give all the crown jewel trophies out. They make them. It's in the shape of the track that we run at, and it lights up. You can put it on your nightstand and whatnot. So pretty cool thing that they have going on over there that they support NASRA with.
Brady, quick question: Can we do these cars or the trucks or anything around Long Beach?
See, that's also been a topic of discussion. So,
Oh wow, yeah.
that might be another thing that the guys would like, especially I would say especially in these cars, or even maybe the next gen, depending on if we can get a setup for Premier Racing setups.
We're glad to have them as a partner, as well as of the Nazareth family Premier Racing setups too with the Cup Series. All right, we're coming to green. Under 20 to go in stage number 2. And 54 remaining in the race as well. Remember, we will stay green flag from the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 into that third and final stage as the green flag flies. Back at it again. Rainwater, Ballesteros, door to door. Tuckness going to get up into the battle and go 3 wide there. Brady for second as they work into 2.
Yeah, huge run coming off that corner right there, coming off of 2 that is, by the 94 right there of Tuckness, and he's going to come all the way up to second spot. We're going to see if he has anything for Weatherholt.
Back straight away into that third turn. Tuckness now way, way high. Look at the interval here, Dean, as you see them working off 4, and then look at them swallow each other up alongside one another as they side draft off the Rainwater and Tuckness car. That's the battle for second, and now they're going for crossover moves. Dive bombs from the top to the bottom, trying to get in line as we hit the halfway mark of the race into 1.
Really good use of that upside wall, isn't it, to be seen? And he's really battling it out at the moment. Even trying to take on Colin Weatherbolt for the racing lead. So they are utilising much of this track. Let's go back and have a look at exactly what the track temperatures have gone to as well. Where's it? They're 90, so it's give or take.
Still the same. It's about the same. 76 air temp in the virtual sim, 90 degrees on that track temp as they thunder off of turn 4, coming down to the tri-oval here at Auto Club Speedway. Johnson makes a move on the driver left of the Rainwater car, and right now, you know, you're watching these guys get side by side, and look at now Tuckness getting his chance, Brady, to jump up in front in the 94.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been sending it, and it's been sticking for him too. So he's definitely figured something out in this first half of this race, and it's definitely paying off for him, taking him to the lead.
Already making it work as the cross flags coming up here. By the way, flying with Murph says adds at least 100 horsepower with the fabled unicorn on the car for the driver of Suss right now. Joshua Suss outside the top 10, trying to find speed, if you will, as they come back to the line here. Halfway, next time by, door to door behind the leader. It is Tuckness in front, and we're going to go 3 wide. Dino back into turn 1.
Yeah, hold on. There is enough space. Drivers can do it. You can go up and next to the fence there and be safe and not. Oh,
whoa!
That's Noah, and he blinked as well too for a second. You got to remember Noah's tires are a little bit more cooked. In fact, Noah is blinking, at least to us, which may be to the other cars. And, yeah, he's running on those old boots, man, because he boxed back on lap 23. So he's still hanging up the big guns, but I don't think that grips where it is. And that's Cullen.
Oh, no. Holden McGill turned into the wall. Red Tucker. A whole host of cars have wrecked coming off of turn 4. Oh,
That's
wow.
huge. And it's wrecking my computer. That's how much of a wreck it was. Ouch.
Brady, netcode calls that, you think?
Oh man, it's tough. I heard one driver scream out that they were 3 wide, and I guess, you know, Colin's on the bottom there, you know, and he's ahead of Tuckness right here, and that's going to be a tongue twister this season, Wesley. You got Tucker on the outside, you got Tuckness in the middle, so I just think the 22 didn't know that they were 3 wide, and 94 had to hold the middle.
Wow.
And man, it's just a tough situation to be in for sure.
Holden McGill, not somebody, Dean, that we're used to seeing in a predicament like this. As they were coming to halfway, we've officially crossed the halfway mark of this race. Ryan Johnson now being scored the new leader. Here's the contact. There it is.
Yeah, but you look at exactly, I think, as Brady called it.
Did Tuckness get into the right rear? Let's watch this one more time here. Right. Oh. Yeah, Brady, set it up for us. You're our driver analyst here, boss.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely netcode involved, but you can see the 22. You can see the 22 drifting up. You know, you're coming off the corner. Naturally, you're going to go up higher. But like I said, 94
Oh, wow.
He doesn't move at all. He holds his line. So, like I said, I just think it was a tough spot to be in there, 3 wide, and you're the guy on the bottom not knowing that you're 3 wide necessarily. So, you would assume that the 94 is going to kind of go up coming off the corner, and he just holds his line, and it's just a tough spot to be in for all 3 of those guys.
Noah Rainwater says, and I quote, "Can I get another pair of pants?" Let's go on board with Noah Rainwater and see what happened to him. I would say this would be a perfect view of what happened with the crash, Dean, as you see the replay coming up here. On board with the 0-5, Noah Rainwater. Look at this. Holy camole. Where do you go? Oh, wow. He got lucky right there. Man. It even caused him to get jarred from that contact. Brady, what causes that, by the way? I know it makes the broadcast look kind of, shabby when it happens, but what caused it to make all that ink and blink and nod happen to us on the broadcast as well as with the cars crashing?
The only thing that I can think of is just you're going from replay to instant live. So there's something, we've seen that with recent, Dean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the last big update with iRacing, it started kind of doing that. We thought it was maybe a big event going on at Daytona because it just so happened that we were racing at Daytona that week. So we kind of blamed it on the big 24-hour stuff that was going on, or the big sports car race that was going on at Daytona. But I just think it has something to do with going from a replay. It may be SDK or the program that we run for the broadcast compared to the iRacing server. I just think that it's something that's going from replay mode to live mode that's causing that.
I don't think it's always so. I'm sorry, but I don't think it's just the replay mode because the blinking happened before at the end of that crash before I went to the replay. So, and it's happened before. I'm still trying to determine exactly what it is. If this is very CPU intensive as well too, so it could be rocketing my CPU through the roof, even though my GPU is like latest and greatest. But there are certain little elements to iRacing which still need to be fiddled out, and it's difficult for me to test with because I need a race with 40 drivers or so to test, because I can just do it off a replay and not get a single problem off a replay with 100 cars on the track, everything cranked up the max. But when it's live, it's different. So it could also be a little bit of the internet connection kicking in. There's a lot of elements at play, and still trying to sort it out. But I know for a fact that it's not happening to you and you're in the session, right, Brady?
Correct. Yeah.
So it's definitely on my end, and once again, put up something about SDK software and stuff like that as well.
We'll try it again as the pace car is onto the pit lane. Good work by our NASRA race directors and officials to get things definitely situated and get back under the green flag. We did pass the halfway mark before the crash. We're in the second half. And remember, we're moving into the end of stage number 2 to lap 65 in the Glass Mechanics stage 2. Back underway in the Murph's Magical Creations 200. And Brady, they're not wasting no time. Right back to the whip again. Darren Bruce now going to go to the outside and look for the leadoff too.
Absolutely, and he's going to get it. As you see, Noah Rainwater's got a lift right there coming off the corner. But man, just going back to that wreck, Wesley, that took out a bunch of heavy hitters right there running up front. As now you see new players come into play, you're starting to see that 21 machine of Holden McGill get back up to the front. You got the 09 right here, 54. There's a lot of people that you haven't seen all race long that's going to come into play for this win tonight.
3 wide, maybe go 4 wide, and look who's right back up at the saddle again, Dino. Here comes Holden McGill.
Yep.
Kubota, Chevrolet, and a Rainwater going to 1.
Can't keep Holden down. In fact, he goes, maybe a gap there to make 4 wide. No, Holden's wise enough to think, I've still got to see another 46 laps to end this race. I don't want to be seeing the fence or the medical center early, so very clever on that one. He's in a fantastic position. Noah Rainwater is blinking a little bit to me. I'm pretty sure he's probably blinking to you, Brady, because when one car blinks, that is generally them and not the whole field. So let's see if he can hold on. And certainly at some point he's going to have to go down that pit road. He's going to start dropping like the 1929 stock exchange on those old boots.
And how about Andrew McGronigal now? Gronigal is up to the second spot, trying to get to Darren Bruce. Darren Bruce, by the way, Brady, as we're watching Tristan Bruce in behind in the 3 car, when he took to the lead from the outside, he has pulled away, and we're 4 wide off 2. Holy camole, hold on to it there, Bo Tiffany.
Absolutely. I mean, over a second ahead of the pack right here, and wants to stay up there. We've seen this from Darren Bruce time to time again. We'll see if he can kind of keep it all together. And then Andrew, but you see, I want to point out something real quick, Wesley. Andrew, Noah Rainwater at 05, he must have been paying attention to what Jonathan Tuckness was doing, because he's been running the same similar line, that high arc, and then going up to the wall and carrying that momentum. So these guys are starting to look at it. We got another car way outside. I believe that's Noah again trying to run that lane. So the guys learning from other guys. That's what you do in these 100-lap races.
Back straightaway, they thunder into that third turn. Look at now, Johnson up on the outside lane. Boy, Rainwater Dean's got a problem.
Yeah,
he is free falling. Look at him losing several spots. It seems like a draft at Daytona or Talladega. He's got to find a way to get back in line, and right now he hooks up to the 33.
He's using that fence to rebound off because he's got no grip, and so he's just tagging it each time around a few times, and it's scrubbing off some speed. More than anything, is it doing a slight bit of damage to his car every single time he's doing it. At some point, he's praying for a caution so he can jump in pit road and get something on. At the moment, he's got to hold on. He's dropped back, as you see, to P8, but he's just hanging in there with that slipstream with the rest of the drivers, but he can't afford at all to go down the insider next to the line. Otherwise, it's going to... He doesn't have the grip on the exit, but this man has the grip all over the place. Darren Bruce, look at that gap, 1.5 seconds.
I'll tell you what, Brady, the Hiddenite North Carolina driver, Darren Bruce, and this driver used to struggle in Nazareth, but I'm telling you, man, it seemed like at the end of the series last year, or the last season, pardon the pun, he found something, and he was not in the playoffs battling for a championship, but he was just getting stride for stride better. And look at this now, capitalizing. He's got a couple of Daytona wins. Matter of fact, he won in the Cup Series a couple of weeks ago at Daytona in a dual event. He's won at Daytona in the trucks, and now we're seeing what he can do here now. Actually, correction, he's won here in the Xfinity Series, and now we're watching Darren Bruce literally lead the way here at Auto Club. He wins this race. He's joining Colin Weatherholt to go to the playoffs in round 2 of the year.
Yeah, and you see that throughout the entire league. And when I say league, I mean Nazareth as a whole. You know, the series on Mondays, Fridays, Wednesdays, Tuesdays. Raul Meza comes to mind, because you would have never thought, 2 years ago, Raul Meza would have been running top 4 at Richmond with our group. Right. And there he was last night battling for a top 5. Comes home P6, I believe, P7. So, it's awesome to see the development of drivers that stick with it. They continue to run. They learn from everybody. You join a team. You got 3 to 4 guys to work with, and everybody just gets better and better. And you gotta stay on your toes, Wesley, season to season, because guys that you think won't be a factor the following season end up giving you a run for your money.
Now you got to remember, Noah Rainwater, by the way, Dean, on pit road.
Yes. And
remember, I think he's pitting off a sequence of anyone else. Everyone else came down to the pit lane between lap 39, 40 to 51. And I believe now we're seeing this could be the money stop for the driver, Noah Rainwater. And I also think he's trying to go for the undercut on everybody else. This literally is a strategy for this 0-5. I think he put himself in a predicament early in the race, and now he's just trying to finish through with it right now in that car coming to pit road by himself.
Fuel capacity is 75% with 39 to go, so he could stretch it to the end, no doubt, as if there's no other caution. And we stay green for stage 2, which is coming up very, very soon. Right. So yeah, it could look quite well for him. When everybody else goes down the pit road, he's going to be zooming on by. At the moment, it's going to drop back and probably maybe in a lap or so. But it'll pan out the other way if it does go to plan. So we'll see. Darren Bruce at the moment. His lead has dropped. You can see that the Butcher from Argentina's chewed into that a little bit. And then further down the field there, you got Ryan Johnson right on the back there of the Doucette from Canada.
Working through the front straightaway again, another lap on the board here. We're heading to the end of stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic, and Brady, I didn't know to jinx anything by saying this, but this is the longest green flag run of the race we've also seen right now.
Absolutely, and You know, they either figure it out at the beginning or they figure it out at the end. It's either or. But to Noah's point, I don't think he can make it the rest of the way. I think he's going to have to stop once again. I think they can go 37 laps on 100% capacity. So if you do the math, 75%, that brings it down to high 20s, like 28, 29. So I think once you see these other guys getting to that lap 70 to 75 range, you'll see all these guys make their green flag pit stops, and they'll be good to the end. But I think Noah may be about 10 to 15 laps short, if I have my math correct.
We'll have to keep an eye on that and see for sure.
This is the battle, isn't it? Approaching
Laps
stage
winding
break,
down.
so this is up for grabs. Don't be surprised if Ryan Johnson doesn't stick his 38 machine nose in here and steal us away from these two Top Guns battling it out. This is it. This will be the stage break last lap. Who's going to get it?
And remember, we will stay green flag. We will stay under the green flag at the conclusion of stage number 2, unless a natural caution happens. This is really different strategy too, Brady, because usually if we stay green, it's normally from stage 1 to stage 2. This is a really different scenario here right now that we're watching.
Absolutely. And you know, it changes it up week to week. The fuel capacities change, the sets of tires change, the weather, the time of day, the stage breaks, whether they're going to be 1, 2, or none. So it all changed. So that's why you got to really think as a driver, if you don't have a crew chief, as you see, this number 91 is going to win stage 2, and they're just going to keep on racing. That's the name of the game, and so a lot of this factors into strategy play, Wesley and Dean, and it puts on, the drivers love it, how it changes week to week. It keeps you on your toes. It's not the same thing repetitive over and over again, and it changes from season to season. So you really have to think and plan ahead even before the race starts.
And right now we have, of course, green flag pit stops. It could possibly be a scenario to decide the winner of this race. And remember, we talked about Noah Rainwater. He pitted earlier. He's the first car lap down. Now he's in a win-win, if you will, Dean, because if they come down the pit road under green flag pit stops, he's going to shoot up the scoring pylon and cycle back around as a leader. And if we get a caution flag, he's going to be the first car lap down. He would get the free pass to get back on the lead lap again. So right now, whatever happens to the 0-5, strategy is in his favor.
Yes, exactly. He's got, and that's good to see. But if you're taking a gamble and a risk like that, you've just got to stick with it and see how it pans out. It can work out very beautiful for him. He can end up getting the race win, or it could all go pole shape. One thing he does have is a ton of traffic up the road here. So he's got fresh tyres, but he's going to slice and dice his way through, and we know that Noah Rainwater has the pace. So that's the only thing that's going to hold him back a little bit. He's got to get past these cars, but then eventually, you know, let's have a look at his lap times too. He's doing 42s yet. His last lap is a 42 flat almost. Up the business end at the moment, we got almost late 42s. So he's going to do a chunk of about 2/10 per lap from the rest of the field.
Back straight away right now, Ryan Johnson in the lead. Lamperti right there behind him in the 91. They call him the Butcher. Lautaro Lamperti from, what'd you say?
Buenos Aires in Argentina, my friend.
Argentina, I believe.
Yeah, Argentina.
Argentina.
Andrew's heading down
Argentina.
from P11. So this is probably the first of those pit stops for the McDonald's Macca's in Australia car, as you said, Brady. So, you know, strategy, but he's going all by himself, just like the song All By Myself, so nobody else seems to be following in him.
And we have green flag pit stops also taking place here.
Aaron Bruce looking like he's going to elect to give the Dean Dissett a little bit of a push, but has lifted off into the corner, of course, because you don't want to be trying to give somebody a complete push into the corner, otherwise you're going to be turning them. I've learned that much from following ovals, at least there was. It's just normal physics, isn't it?
Ryan Johnson, Lamperti, Dean Doucette, Canadian up in front. How about this, Dean? Listen to this, Brady. You've got Ryan Johnson, right? He's up from Wisconsin. You've got USA, Argentina, Canada, their top 3. How about that? It's like an international NASCAR racing series here tonight at Auto Club.
And look, as much as this series on Tuesday night in particular has evolved, as you see 40 drivers show up week in and week out, the different dynamics of, East Coast versus West Coast, Midwest to even international, we've seen this before, and it just keeps growing and growing. These guys want to come and run this course. So as we see Jason Morton right here, he was running top 10. I believe he was running 9th at the time, pitting right there. And Gerald Poole right here, the 96 machine, he's also pitting. So we're getting to the money stop, as you were talking about earlier, Wesley. I think they're in their field window. That's usually what happens when you start to see people pit. So don't be surprised if you start to see more and more guys go.
And right now, watching them making green flag pit stops, this scenario for sure. And again, as we mentioned, Dean, with 30 laps to go when they come to the line, under 30 to go now, actually 29 to go here at the stripe. Watch them, look at them pull it off. Here they come. Holden McGill on pit road. Got to get on the binders to not get busted for speeding on pit road. As a lot of these guys, Brady, were coming down speed really quickly as McGill, Ballesteros, Larch, Tiffany, Bruce, Reeves, Williams. It sounds like a law firm. They're all coming down pit road for the money stop.
Absolutely. And you got to, it is not an easy task to do this. You cannot give up any time at all. So it may look like they're speeding, but it's just them getting in there as fast as they can. And I believe Holden's going to be good. I don't see anything really popping up on my end. So great job by executing, getting on and off pit road right there by him.
And right now, green flag pit stops, and look at this. As I was mentioned before, we saw the excitement of these guys speeding entering out of the pit lane, Dean. No more water, back on the lead lap, as we mentioned, and he's climbing the scoring pylon. You see him up to 17th now, with closing in on over 25 laps to go here at Auto Club.
He's putting the banker laps in as well. Him and Andrew up the road. They are doing, Andrew up the road's just come out of pit road, so this Andrew for the 09, he's just set up some quick laps. So they're the 41 times that they're doing. Late 41s, mid 41s, the rest of the field are doing 42s, late 42s, which is an indication you've got to go on the pit road at the moment. Whoa! As Jonathan had to tuck that car in to slow it down. You've got to, if you're getting that 43 times now, mid 43s, then you're dropping almost a second lap to some of these people with fresh boots. So now's the time to go in.
And we've seen this
going here. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brady. Go ahead, man.
Well, we've seen this from Ryan Johnson last season. He's one of the last ones to pit on green flag cycles. You give up a lot of time at the beginning of the run, right? Like those guys, like you just said, are going to be a second and a half faster. But it seems like we've seen this from Ryan Johnson, I believe, at Pocono when he's been in this situation. One of the last cars to pit, and he has to drive back through the field after. But it seems like he likes having, the better, once the tires wear off, having more balance towards the end of the run compared to the other drivers.
Yeah, he's a racehorse out of the gate late, isn't he? Absolutely, Ryan Johnson. So, Wesley, as he's maintaining that gap over our man from down south in Argentina, probably about similar to where I am, latitude-wise. So
yeah,
he's having a nice getting into summer. More drivers coming in. Ted Reid, Jonathan Caulfield. So, and we know that Mark Caulfield out there is watching, so John will come in there, Greg McConey and Jason. So that'll also push up Noel Rainwater, the series currently at the moment. I'm just going to keep an eye on him. As those earlier pit stops as well too. Lucas Lyons, the rest of these drivers up the road there, they pitted back in lap 51, or even Darren Bruce, lap 44, and he's still going.
So right now, Ryan Johnson up in that top spot, 25 laps to go. We're going to go side by side and mention Premier Racing setups as well as Murph's Magical Creations. If he's fixed it, we will. And don't forget, tomorrow night, Nazareth Cup Series. Getting ready for a big night, a historic night. You know, Brady, I know you tried the Cup Series before. Remember, what is it, Millie's Restaurant and Catering? We had them on Sunday night. And it just, maybe it was a bad night. Maybe it was a night where it just didn't work out. But I'll tell you what we've seen so far with what Justin White and the people that are behind doing what they've been doing with this Premier Racing setups or the NASCAR Cup Series. It's worked out really good, and I think we're going to see a big race tomorrow night for Daytona, no doubt.
Absolutely, and just an update real quick. The 33 of
Jason White,
he pitted, and then 14 of Darren Bruce is down pit road, so they're getting their service done on those vehicles. Yeah, no, to your point, Wesley. So I think the best part about this whole situation with the Cup Series is we've actually, you could say, taken over Thunderclap or kind of merged with Thunderclap. It's a NASRA-based series now. The two leagues kind of came together to make this. So you got a lot of Thunderclap guys in there, a lot of NASRA guys kind of meeting. So I think it's going to be a great series with the vehicle rotation. That's kind of like their niche. We wanted to kind of keep it similar, not necessarily take it over entirely to where it's not the old thing that they're accustomed to. But we're giving it, the NASRA flair. Putting our input, our rule book, everything that kind of goes along with how we do things at NASRA in it, and we're bringing some of our drivers over, so I think it's going to be very successful.
Going to be a fun one with now closing in on over 20 laps to go. Ryan Johnson up in front. Tuckness there, you're on board with him. And we're seeing guys come onto the pit lane. Here comes the Wisconsin Cheesehead there, Brady. He's on pit road, as well as the number 91, LaParity, right behind him.
Yeah, LaParity looked like he almost
Keith Haney.
Yeah, Keith Haney.
Yeah, he was definitely sideways, using that access road right there. And a lot of drivers use that getting in. And like I said, you got to get everything that you can, and Dean Doucette's going to take over the lead here. And and to your point on Wednesdays too, Wesley, it's the first time in history that NASRA is using a customized fixed setup. And what I mean by that is not an iRacing fixed setup like the guys are running tonight. Premier Racing Setups is making all the setups for that league, and the reason why they're customized fixed is because the entire series is running it. So everybody's in the same setup, it's just customized.
It's amazing. Wow. So everybody's going to be on the same equal playing field, custom setup. Basically, it's going to be a good one for sure. Definitely.
Absolutely.
New setup, nothing like anything iRacing has. And is that Premier Racing Setups helping set up for that?
It's Premier that's doing that. Yep.
There we go. And right now, Dean Doucette is the new leader, the Canadian, the number 5, leading the way as we watch Martin Tuckness, Bruce battle, and not anymore. # fake news. Here comes the Canadian, Dean Doucette, on pit road.
Yeah. Joshua Suss, well, I expect to be coming in soon. This is another one. Andrew, here, the 09 machine. So that's the McDonald's entry. We know it was involved in some earlier incidents. He walks back on lap 868, so you have to kind of do the math on that one there, Brady. Does he have enough to go to the end? 19 laps. And considering he was back on lap 68, I don't know. But he's got to be in the net lead of this when Joshua Suss goes down the pit road. So Holden McGill's chasing him down, and that's about, you can see, just down the road there. And then, of course, Ryan Johnson after making his pit stop. So as you mentioned too, Brady, Ryan Johnson's one of those last out-of-the-gate drivers, isn't he? He's going to make these gains, and he's going to be on the tailpipe of these other drivers soon.
Yeah, I can't remember, because you guys got to give me a break on this, because I update, and the guys are hard on me about this. I'll forget what I did stages last week or for Friday, just because I'm updating 3 different leagues, and they're all different, right? I want to say it was around 38 to 37 laps on 100%, and if that's the case, if you do 75%, it's around 27 to 28, 29 laps you can go on a fuel run. I just don't know. I don't know if the 09 of Andrew's going to be able to make it.
We'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Ryan Johnson in the net lead.
Wow.
In the net lead now. So, yeah, Joshua Suss, we expect has to go down the pit road. So, there he is. Didn't take Ryan to get back in the lead of this race, gentlemen, with the pit stops.
And look at that. By the way, look who's back up to the top spot. Joshua Suss Blue Line Racing, number 80. And yes, Murph Magical Creations on. Ooh, Flying with Murph's got to be happy. Look at that. By the way, this is no way staged in any way. That's just how good his car is right now. With 17 to go, strategically, he is up in front. The question is for how long? Because he the last time he pitted, Brady was lap 51. We know he can't go to the finish, but it's good to see at least the sponsor car up in the front while it lasts, I guess. Nice way of saying
Absolutely, absolutely. He's had a couple of caution laps to be able to save some fuel, and he's actually saving right now. He's trying to get as much as he can. Ryan Johnson is just flying, though. He's knocking him off. He's over a second faster, so not sure if Josh is going to be able to pull this off. I'm definitely rooting for him. Great guy, deserves the win. Almost had a win in this series last season at Talladega. Greg McConey was able to get by him and beat him by a foot at the line. So it's always good to see guys like Joshua Suss running up front in these series.
And we're ready to bring this one on home for supper as this one is closing into the end. It's going to be 15 laps to go. And look at this. Here he comes. Yes, sir. Joshua Suss. Fun while it lasted, Dean. Yeah. As here comes the Murph Magical Creations entry on pit lane. Look at this now. Remember what we talked about with rain weather. Noah Rainweather right now is up to, well, he's in 18th spot, so he kind of got stuck in a stalemate. And look who's took advantage of this. I love it. Ryan Johnson back up in front, and this guy, Lautaro Lamperti, the Butcher, is up to the second spot. His debut, I think, with the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity series. I've never heard of his name before until tonight, but Lamperti is right there in that second spot, looking good, making his NASCAR debut.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Yep, he's a new driver, and it's rainwater. Wesley, we're going to have a field day with these tongue twisters. Like I said, we got Tuckness, Tucker, Weatherholt, Rainwater. We've got a bunch of them. So just bear with us for the first couple of weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
Did I say something? Did I say his name wrong? I've called many of his races before. Noah Rainwater. Yeah, I must have slipped up. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
You're Challenge for the lead as we're getting the Argentinian driver on the back there of Ryan Johnson. So this is fantastic.
He wants to win.
Yeah, he does. 14 to go, and he can. They're even Stevens on pit stop strategy, gentlemen.
And remember, guys, earlier in the race, Brady, Lamperti had a problem on the racetrack. He crashed. He's racing his way back into the show and looking for the lead on Johnson.
Well, the awesome thing about these concept bodies on these cars and the new damage model for iRacing is you can bang on these things and get your damage fix and get back up there and run and be able to be competitive. So a lot of these guys, Dean Ducek comes to mind. Jason Martin was in a wreck. A lot of these guys, Keith Haney hit the wall at one point, and he's still running almost top 15. So a lot of these guys with damage were able to get their damage fixed and being competitive and running competitive lap time. So you just got to stick with it, man. You can't give up for sure.
Getting ready to bring this one to the finish as right now 12 laps to go here at Auto Club. Ryan Johnson in the lead. It is Lautaro Lamperti in second spot from Argentina, looking on the inside to the outside. The Butcher trying to run down Flying Ryan as the laps wind down with 12 to go. This time by Dean. They're in 3.
Flying Ryan, I like that. Your opponent, you didn't even know it. But it's interesting, obviously, yes, with the 91, it's a new entry in here, bringing it here this evening, because Ryan Johnson's had many race wins before in the past, so he's the one that you want to beat. It's just a little bit pity as well. Holden McGill that was up there, he's currently running in P5. Jonathan Caulfield's done a fantastic job out there for Mark. There, he's 15 positions gained, so the number 58 currently running in P8 position. Bo Tiffany's dropped back 50 places, but he's on the back there of Jonathan Tuckness. In fact, side by side with the In-N-Out Burger. There he is. Well, Bo is the In-N-Out Burger. And there's Drew just behind them. So that's all to play for in the midfield. But more up there, more importantly, of course, is that can he hunt down Ryan and can he overtake Ryan?
That's the question right now as they're getting ready to work off turn 4. Here they come to the line. Lap number 90 flashes on the flag stand. 10 laps to go. 10 remaining in the Murph's Magical Creations 200. Ryan Johnson up in front, but for how long? Brady is right now. Johnson's got to will it and deal it here. By the way, longest green flag run of the race, Brady, we have seen right here since the last caution.
Absolutely, and this is Ryan's strong suit. We're about almost 18 to 20 laps, maybe a little bit shorter than that, from the time that all these guys pitted. So we're on the back end of the run actually, and this is where Ryan prevails. He does a great job of saving tires while maintaining raw speed. So he's definitely in control of this race. All else, goes great for him. He should be able to carry it home. You see the 91 starting to kind of distance himself a little bit back, probably pushing a little bit too hard, but third place is 5 seconds, fourth place is 7 seconds, and then fifth place is 8 seconds. I mean, I think the closest battle we have right here is for fifth spot, and that's Dean Doucette and Holden McGill. But yeah, it just Ryan, showing his strength, and that is right now. And as you see, Noah Rainwater, he's going to pit. I believe I was right on that. He had to make 2 stops. Strategy just did not work out into his favor.
Time running out with Johnson in the front spot. The question is, can Limperti run him down? Limperti down the back straightaway. Honestly, Dean, losing ground as they're coming to 7 to go this time by at the line.
Yeah, I don't know if he's pushing it. He's up against the fence, a safety barrier as well. But has he just taken too much out of those tires? And this is once again, as what Brady had mentioned, when Ryan, just nurses his car home, just absolutely quick on in the dying stages of this race. That's going to be the key. Traffic is probably the only thing that the Butcher can be on his side here, as they're going to be approaching some of the traffic, but the traffic is so spread out that you don't see any major battles. They need to catch up to around the midfield in order for it to get very, very interesting, as Rainwater is out with that splash and dash to get him to the rest of get him home, at least, to see Barney, the checkered flag man. But this is also this Hornet's Nest here as well, my friend, around this midfield area. We got Bo Tiffany, Jason Martin, Keith Hanley as well. 80 positions game for him. That's not too bad. Jonathan Tuckness and Drew. But yeah, that gap now, 1 second that Ryan's pulled out with 7 to go.
And time coming to the end of this one is Ryan Johnson, obviously from Salem, Wisconsin. Came so close, if you remember, Brady, to make it into the championship. He tried so hard to lock up season number 3 of the Nazareth Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series playoffs. He just came up short at the end. Ross Tatum, by the way, our defending series champion, nowhere to be found the last couple of weeks. I think he once told me he was tired of iRacing. He wanted to take a break. He needed a break, the man that works full-time for Coca-Cola. But, look at Ryan Johnson now. Speaking of him, coming to the line, open hand, 5 to go from Barney, the iRacing flagman. Brady, he wins this race, second race of the year. You punch yourself into the playoffs with Colin Weatherholt. Weatherholt fell back, but it really doesn't matter for him because he won Daytona last week. It's all about consistency. You get a win, you get a lock, you're going to the postseason.
Yeah, a lot of things we don't really talk about is some of the rules here that, the audience really doesn't know. It's one of those things where people ask us all the time, what happens if you win early on in the season? You automatically qualify for the playoffs, so you're not allowed to disappear. Right. Ryan Johnson and Weatherholt, assuming that Johnson hangs on to win this race, that is. I'm not giving up on anybody yet. But, it used to be you had to make a minimum amount of starts in the regular season to carry over to keep that win in your in eligibility. Now, we run it more as a subscription. So as long as you pay for all the events and your starting parks, and you continue on paying for all 11 regular season races, and you have a win, you clinch a playoff spot. So as long as they keep on paying the same amount of fees as everybody else, you'll be in the playoffs. As we see a tight battle right here with the 94 and the 54. Oh, wow, Dean, that was almost a mess right there.
Yeah, they're going to be door banging at the moment for sure, and I think it's going to elbows out a little bit for some of these drivers, even though they're going to pick up just a few more little points at the back here. That's a little bit more, as you said earlier, I think as well. Pride is going to come into play. Who wants to just beat somebody?
No, that's Jeffrey Johnson, the second, right there in the middle, threading the needle. With Drew Ballesteros on the outside, back to the bottom now. Tugnis will get back in line. All this happening as they come to the line, close it in on 4 miles remaining here. Well, actually, it's 3 to go. 3 laps to go. Boy, these guys going at it like they're fighting for the lead. 3 wide again as they go into the corner. This is for the Dirty Dozen spot here, Dean, into 1.
They're going to send to the principal's office. If you keep that fighting up, gentlemen, why not? If Gap car. Get a feel that you're drilling through your veins. You know you've got a few more to go to get some crucial, at least maybe in the top 10. And actually, it would be all battling it out for P11.
And
so,
look, that's another driver right there.
Oh,
as you see the 94 sideways right there. He's going to, looks like he's going to maintain. Yeah, he does a great job of saving it right there. I was just going to mention real quick that 33 of Jeff Johnson, man. He's another one that's developing overnight. And you see him, fighting for a 12th spot. So just a great job by that group of keeping it together so we can finish this race. Coming up on the white flag right here, Wesley.
They sure are. It's coming down to the end of this one, closing in at the home stretch. It's flying Ryan Johnson, Taz Motorsports, Chevrolet number 38, looking to work off of turn 4. Flashes through the Geico restart zone, stays to the bottom of the apron. White flag will go in the air. 1 more lap to go for Ryan Johnson as he hits his marks in the corner number 1 and 2. Again, as we added, Colin Weatherholt, Daytona winner. Right now, Ryan Johnson, Auto Club winner. Yes, they have to run the minimum amount of races required to advance, but look at now the Argentinian, Lamperti, last chance. He's cut it to a second. He's not going to be able to get him. The longest green flag run of the race is coming to the checkered flag. Here they come, looking for the Darren Snell Gun Repair checkered flag. The race is over. Give it to Ryan Johnson. Dominates the longest green flag run here tonight and takes the Murph's Magical Creations 200 at Auto Club.
What a job. What a job. Ryan gets it done again. Cool, calm, smooth operator. The flying Ryan. And he's seen that check. He's tasted the bubbly stuff up on the top set of the podium before. And give it, of course, once again to the Butcher, isn't it? A new man in town. The Argentines invaded, and he's invaded that podium and doing a fantastic job. Darren Bruce will wrap out your top 3 with Dean Doucette from Canada in the P4 position.
What a phenomenal job, Brady. I mean, look at Ryan Johnson. How about Argentinian driver for Juncos Hollinger Esports, Latoro Lamperti, the Butcher. Welcome to the world of NASCAR. Hopefully we have him a lot more. And again, just good racing. What was it? The longest green flag run of the race, I think, was close to what? 45, 50 laps, I think it was.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, I'm sorry. We're watching Ryan Johnson right here do his burnout.
Oh, they're having a chat.
I'm getting chatter for the first time that we're going to have a translator come in to help us do interviews. That's going to be the first time in NASCAR history. So just bear with us as we watch. I guess Ryan Johnson's just going to rev it up. And, we're going to get ready for interviews here.
So we're going to have actually a translator for the Argentinian driver of Latoro Lamperti. Yes. That's going to be fun to actually be able to have a translator get his thoughts and get his bilingual language, if you will. As right now, Ryan Johnson doing what he does always, Dean, on many broadcasts. He's going to Ricky Bobby at Talladega Night style on iRacing. He's going to go the whole lap in reverse.
Shake and bake it,
Losing's
baby.
never fun, but losing's never fun, but here's something to pick up your spirits. I got it at Walmart. It's on sale.
Do not adjust your pitches. This is not a video in reverse. He just does this to celebrate, and why not? Each drivers have their individual ways of celebrating. I was going to say, I wish I could practice I lived in a Spanish-speaking country for give or take 10 plus years. You'd think I'd know Spanish enough to be able to do the translations, but I won't be able to do that. Sorry, but this will be exciting.
B&B Sports Pub in reverse. That's talent. Hey Brady, we need to have a reverse race. What do you think? Have the drivers
wow.
going reverse down the racetrack? I think Brian Johnson easily win this one. I think.
I think the wives driving for us, or the
Yes.
girlfriends and the wives
Yes.
driving for us.
Yes.
Would
There
be
you
a little
go.
bit better than that.
Or the sons,
There
any
you go.
family members. We've done that before for a charity event in another league, and it was very, very popular. So
Ryan Johnson working through the tri-oval now in reverse off of turn number 4. Celebration for the Wisconsin Cheesehead. Noah Rainwater says, and I quote, "I'm an idiot sandwich for not pitting." Well, just make sure you put some mayo between the bread next time, Noah. Oh. Here's the results of tonight's Murph's Magical Creations 200 at Auto Club. Ryan Johnson's going to pick up the win. Latoro Lamperti, the butcher from Argentina, we are going to be speaking to his translator, to him, to get his thoughts on being the runner-up in NASRA, first time ever. Darren Bruce will finish third. Those drivers are coming up on the post-race show. Dean Doucette, Holden McGill, Ted Wade, Andrew Megronigal, followed by Jonathan Cofield, Keith Haney, Bo Tiffany, top 10. Look at the rest of the rundown here as you're watching. And Brady, what's some names that are good or bad that stick out in front of you?
Well, you know, Rhett Tucker, 23rd, was fighting for the lead at 1.3 wide. Colin Weatherhope, same thing. Jonathan Tuckness, I know they're all disappointed. Drew right there at 14th. Tristan Bruce, we're used to seeing him really dominate on Friday nights. 13th. Bernard Parsons, Adam Newton. There's a lot of guys, mixed reviews as we get down. Matt Cherry, Peyton Johnson, former champion, season 1 champion. Justin White didn't even really get an opportunity to race. He was involved in that crash on lap 1. So a lot of guys are going to be ready to get from the West Coast to the East Coast as we go from Auto Club, let's see, week 3, we're at Pocono. So a lot of guys
next
will be
week.
catching the early flight from West Coast to East Coast for sure to
Yes,
get
sir.
to next week. So
Pocono, Kansas, Las Vegas, the next 3 races. Talladega coming up for race number 6 on the schedule. Those are all going to be coming up. And, of course, the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series every Tuesday night on the NASRA 360 Racing Network as we move in to the holiday season. Happy Turkey Murder Day and Christmas upon us. I can't believe how fast the years flew by. Coming up, we're going to take a break. We're going to grab the podium. They're all joining us. Ryan Johnson, Lamperti, Bruce up for our post-race wrap-up after Auto Club here tonight. We're back with more in a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Back here at Auto Club Speedway, iRacing with the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series has finished up. Wesley Outland, Brady LaBeouf, Mr. Bigglestein hopped in on production and also on color commentary. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time from Daytona for the inaugural lid lifter of the NASRA Cup Series. Right now, Ryan Johnson joins us from Salem, Wisconsin for Taz Motorsports. Ryan, a lot faster than last year. You have punched your ticket into the playoffs if you continue to run the minimum races needed. Congratulations on a great job at Auto Club.
Yeah, got one pretty early this season. It's gonna be nice moving forward, not having to worry about whether or not we're gonna make the playoffs by points or not. But yeah, man, I got a little worried there with the strategy with the amount of cautions we were having. It wasn't a crazy amount, but it was just a little too common, and I took a chance there on the pit strategy when we pit under that last caution we had, and I was like, man, I hope this goes green. And fortunately enough, it did.
How did everything change, Ryan, where you're seeing a plethora of caution flags, and then all of a sudden we go green for the remainder of the race? And were you thinking that the yellow flag was going to come out? What did that change in the strategic way of you racing for the finish of this race? And obviously, those green flag pit stops definitely hung in the balance to decide the factor too, didn't it?
Oh yeah. I think the lap number was 36, and if you pit and got fuel at that lap, which I believe a lot of people did, it was going to be a one-stop race to the end. But with the amount of cautions we were having, it was like, when do you take tires? Because I believe we had kind of an extra set, depending on how you were gonna play the strategy tonight. Man, I don't I don't know. I wish we could do that more often so we get more green flag race and eliminate a little bit of caution. But overall, tonight was a really great race. For the most part, it was pretty clean, a lot of fun. I, I don't know what changes it. I took a chance. That's all I can really say. I didn't have anything planned out by any means.
I'll tell you what, Ryan, man, you kind of mentioned, that it was definitely a struggle to try to get into points last year by playoffs and by points. You win here. What's your take of the strategy and going into this season? I know you want to win a championship for your program, no doubt.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. It's not going to change a whole lot. We might take a little more chances throughout some more of the regular season, but I don't know. Just try and win some races. And I mean, the thing is, we're going to have to turn it on in the playoffs. The last couple seasons, it seems we've had a pretty dull playoff run, and just need to be better in the playoffs when we get there. So that's kind of all we can do.
Well, man, sponsors, congratulations. Second different winner of the season, by the way, too.
Yeah, I just got to thank everybody here at NASRA, Brady, everybody keeping it going. You guys for broadcasting, love the broadcast. Jason for putting this Highline team together. We got a couple old faces, couple new faces. My teammates, everybody tuning in and watching, and yeah, all our sponsors that we got, and all the drivers.
There we go. Ryan Johnson flying. Ryan, by the way, for the man out of Salem, Wisconsin, picks up the win for Taz Motorsports here tonight at Auto Club on the Murph's Magical Creations 200. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to be a part of a monumental moment in the world of iRacing and in the NASRA brand since 2000. I think for the first time ever, we have a translator that will translate the interview with the driver that finished in the runner-up position for Juncos Hollinger Esports. And that, of course, is the nickname of the Butcher, Latoro Lamperti. Octavio Rondeletto is his, obviously, interpreter. Octavio, my question for Mr. Latoro is, what was his decision of running NASRA? How much fun did he have tonight in his first race with us?
Hi, Wesley.
Yes, yes, Octavio, yes.
¿Cuál fue tu decisión de correr la NASRA? Contame un poco acerca de ello y las expectativas.
No, nada, increíble, la verdad. Tremenda carrera. Primero saludar a todos ahí en la sala. Felicitar a Ryan por la victoria. Y no, la verdad, seguir al jefe Pool, el Flaming Karma, que seguimos los pasos de él, lo que él dice hacemos y por suerte nos va bien.
Well, at first he want to say thanks to everybody. Uh, Thanks to Jerry Poole. He was doing all that he said during the race, following him, following the team owner. He want to congratulate Ryan for the win, and yeah, he's happy with the league. He want to race more, and we are interested. If you let me to say that we're interested in this league because it looks awesome, man.
Well, we're glad to have him. Thank you very much again for that, Latoro.
Yeah.
And a question that I have also, Octavio, for Lamperti. He had an incident earlier in the race, had some problems. Changed the car, long green flag runs. What was the strategy that went behind the Butcher to get back in this race and finish in the bridesmaid spot for him in the 91?
Bueno, Lauti, tuviste un incidente al principio. ¿Cuál fue tu estrategia para remontar después de lo que te pasó al principio de la carrera? Y contanos acerca de ello.
No, no tuve un incidente, lo seguía a Ryan que venía primero, entré a boxe y fue esa la decisión para terminar la carrera. Intentar avanzar y bueno, llegamos acá y me faltó poco. Nos quedamos sin neumático.
He was trying to follow Ryan, following the strategy that he had planned, but he was out of tires at the end, and he was not able to win the race.
Let's bring in Gerald Poole. Gerald, what was your take of obviously retaining this Argentinian driver of Lamperti, and what's your take of what he did here in Nazareth tonight, his first time out?
He did what I expected him to do. Flaming Karma Racing actually is a formed team, and Octavio and Lataro and I, with Flaming Karma Racing, racing in other places, and this opportunity came up, and we kind of kicked it around, and it's like, hey, let's go give it a shot. And they're very accomplished drivers, and what, I think once we get the full team in here in the next week or so, it'll be some exciting things to watch here coming down the road.
Obviously, the driver is Mr. Lataro Lamperti, and again, the Butcher finishing in second, making his debut from Carlos Buenos Aires on Argentina. Final question, Octavio, and let him also thank his sponsors, if you don't mind, as well. Where did he find out about Nazra? And obviously, was the esports racers he ran tonight different than other iRacers he's raced in the past?
Bueno, Lauti, ¿cómo supiste de Nasra y fueron los competidores diferentes a lo que has estado corriendo en el pasado?
No, la Narra la venimos siguiendo hace rato, una categoría muy buena por lo que se ve y la verdad estuvo increíble correr con todos estos pilotos que la verdad respetaron bastante y fue increíble carrera. Ya que venga la próxima.
Y saludar a los sponsors que vos quieras.
No, y darle muchas gracias a Gerald. La verdad, darle las gracias por todo lo que hace. Y mandarle saludo a mis viejos y a mi tío que van a estar viendo ahí. Y a todos los sponsors del equipo.
Well, he want to say that the league is really interesting. He was following it on YouTube, on the forums, on Facebook. That's how he found it. And the racers are great. He had a great competition. And he wants to say thanks to Flaming Karma painting shop, to his family, his parents, his uncle. They're watching the race, and they sponsored West Virginia land for the sponsorship or for the race.
I have a quick question as well too. El Carnicero, which is the butcher. Where did he get the nickname from?
¿Dónde tuviste el apodo, Lauti? Contanos.
No, salió porque con mi viejo tenemos una carnicería acá en Argentina y nada, salió de ahí el apodo.
Well, he's a butcher.
Oh, he's a
in real
butcher.
life,
Okay.
so-
Oh, well, the best steaks too down there. So we got some competition up there in Texas with the Argentinian. Muchas gracias and muy bien, señor.
Muchas gracias, saludos.
Thank you very much. By the way, first time ever in the world of NASRA, and I hope it's not the last. We've had had the opportunity to have somebody from another country, the Argentinian, the butcher, Latoro Lamperti. Thank you very much to Gerald Poole, his team owner for esports, as well as Octavio Rondeletto for helping out, of course, with the translation. That is the driver of the butcher, Latoro Lamperti, and Latoro will finish in second spot. Darren Bruce will grab him now. The Hennonite, North Carolina driver in the number 14 Toyota. Darren, you'll finish third. Man, that's pretty cool to kind of have to back up after what we just did, isn't it?
Hey, that's something else I was just thinking. Brady, Wesley, Dean, you got international competition in here. How cool is that?
That is. Cody Knott just chimed in as well, and he said that it's really cool and glad to have other drivers from other countries deciding to join NASRA or finding out about NASRA for sure. It's a very special moment. I think we need to definitely bookmark and use this for highlight reels because we're glad to have drivers from other esports countries be a part of it. Let's go back to you, though, Darren. Hey, listen, I was bragging about you as well. It's been growing pains in the last season or two for you, but it seems like you've hit your stride in the Xfinity car, in the truck, and obviously in the Cup program as well. I would be remiss to say you're looking forward to the NASRA Cup Series tomorrow night at Daytona.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be running the Cup Series or not. I just don't know if I got the time to do that. I got a lot of irons in the fire here around the house.
I got you.
But yeah, I'm kind of getting tuned into NASRA here, feeling like it's a pretty special deal here. Now you got, international guys coming in. But yeah, I've enjoyed getting my feet set up, my roots put down here in NASRA, and look forward to it.
Let's go back to the race tonight, obviously. Screaming Eagle Motorsports looked really, really good at one time. You were there. You were doing good. Dean Doucette, before he had his problems, he was up there as well. Screaming Eagles is really, really building momentum in the esports world. Do you feel, Darren?
Oh, absolutely. We all had trouble tonight. Jason Martin, he's with us. He had trouble. Adam, he had trouble. Bernie, he got wrecked. Dean had probably the drive of the year tonight. He had almost 3 minutes worth of damage he had to sit and get fixed. Yet he got a 5th in a stage and a 4th or 5th in the race.
4th, yes.
I mean, how do that's a lot of damage to come back, and he had a great points tonight after all that damage. I thought he's ready to park it.
He's from Canada, mate. He's just ice hockey, you know what I mean? He can get banged around a little bit. He can still bounce back.
But yeah, I had my trouble too. I actually had a set of tires. I was hoping the way the race was playing out that there would be some late cautions. That first stage, I didn't take tires. I saved a set of tires from getting damage fixed. I got pretty good damage there early myself. So that stretch right before I got in the lead, that next to last caution that came out, I was kind of ahead of everybody on tires at that point. And if it would have went green the rest of the way, I would have stayed ahead. But after 4 or 5 laps, another caution came out and let those guys get tires, and I was out on 4 or 5 lap old tires. And it just I was kind of stair-step back after that. But if we'd had some more cautions, I had an extra set to fall back on.
And Darren, I guess the long green flag run of the race really changed everything in flux, didn't it? I mean, that really changed the entire scenario of the way the outcome of the race changed for the finish.
It did. I needed the green. If it was going to run green, I needed it to run a longer stretch. Like I said, that next last caution hurt me as far as the tire strategy there at one point. Whenever I was leading and I got passed for the lead, you had 3 different sets of tire strategies out there on the track at one time.
Well, Darren, bud, before we let you go, man, I want you to thank your sponsors. Obviously, as always, great to have you out here. The Toyota number 14 looked good for Hiddenite, North Carolina. And obviously, we'll see what you can do next week at Pocono.
Sure.
Hey, by the way, I do got a question. Is
Sure.
Trip Bruce related to you by any chance?
No, sir, it's not.
Okay. Oh, never mind then. I retract my previous statement. Go ahead and thank your sponsors.
But yeah, we're just the Screaming Eagles this year. We probably take some sponsors on, but we're doing our own thing this year. I thank my teammates Dean and Bernie and Adam and Jason and Randy. I forgot Randy. He got knocked out first. But yeah, we're trying to put a good team effort in here together. Thank you guys for the broadcast and Brady for Cody, all them guys, TJ that does the league. They do an awesome job. And I always got to thank my wife Leah for letting me do this and say hello to my grandkids, Alyssa, Colty, Savannah, and Sarah Beth. Love you guys.
And they're all watching, right?
We will be watching. They like to watch Peepaw. I like to watch it with them when I see them. I get with them and we'll go back and watch Peepaw's races.
There we go. Darren Bruce, the driver of the number 14 from Hiddenite, will finish in, of course, the number 3 position when it's all said and done. And that's going to wrap up tonight's events for the Murph's Magical Creations 200 at Auto Club Speedway. Thank you to Brady LaBeouf. He had to step away already to take care of some managerial things for Nazareth. But, Dean, your final take of stuff. We'll get ready for Pocono next week. Auto Club was a good one, and obviously it was a special moment having the Argentinian driver, the Butcher Lamperti, joining us. Obviously, Darren Bruce on the podium, and when it's all said and done, Ryan Johnson picking up the win, joining Colin Weatherholt with a lock with the minimum races required needed to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, it was it, Wesley. I mean, I'm back in Australia now after living overseas in a Spanish-speaking country, so I was like, oh, back in Spanish again. It was good. So absolutely fantastic. International, yeah, we have. So we just got a few more. Maybe I'll get a couple of Australians if they can race during the middle of the day there and come and join the Nazareth network as well. It'd be fun. I might. I'll reach out actually to see if they're not working, of course, because it's the middle of the day in Australia, weekday. But Wesley, as always, a pleasure. Do apologise for a little bit of technical issues at the start, but we got through it. And more importantly, Ryan Johnson got right across the line first.
There you go. And when it is all said and done, Ryan Johnson picking up the win. There's some awesome camera angles by Bigglesteen Hopton. Thanks to Brady LaBeouf. Thanks to also the race director, TJ Moore, Robbie Richards, obviously Brady LaBeouf and Cody with Nazareth, everybody that's behind all that we do. And we will do it again for the Blanchard's Nazareth Xfinity Series next week, Pocono. Tomorrow night, Nazareth Cup Series at Daytona. Don't forget about Goat Locker Racing, Arca Thunder on Thursday, and of course the Cop Series, the concerns of police survivors for Nazareth, where it all started on Friday night. Be good to one another. Have a great rest of your evening, whether you're in Argentina, Australia, or in the Carolinas, Alabama, wherever you are. Thanks for checking us out. The archives will be up in a bit. And of course, congratulations again, Ryan Johnson. There's his car. Flying Ryan Johnson winning tonight here at Auto Club Speedway. Be good to one another. Good night.